Hello. Welcome to my stream. Today is a late night talk. Today is really late for me, and we are talking with romantic developer about with me about multiple things. And today's serious number is 186. Now I should check all of those on my phone, which doesn't want to pick up the signal. Okay, it's get pick it up, and let me see the sound. I just need to disconnect my headphones so stream could continue. Oh, okay. I'm doing it every time because I already have few streams without uh, sound, and it wasn't the best thing um, from my experience, of course. So my computer was completely dead. I, yeah, my laptop switched on in my backpack, and because I have a very long drive, it completely used the battery, and I need complete, yeah, full restart, full restart of it. So I just need to restore some of my at least web browser pages. So I could show you something, and then we can start our bots, which will help. Okay, as well, I already see some questions um, from Ladla Prince. Hopefully, right pronunciation. The question is, thank you for opening your question box. How can I efficiently query my vector database, Faiss or Qdrant, to retrieve relevant response based on transcribed audio? Thank you in advance. So, um, it's a good question because it's a wide question. What is vector database? I believe, yeah, it's one of the research which added a lot into the whole story about artificial intelligence, LLMs, and everything. So basically, it's a way to convert everything into vectors. And vectors, um, it's like from the geometry school, but geometry in school um, yeah, studies vector in two dimension or three dimension, like x coordinate and y coordinate. So you have two numbers x and y, or three dimension. Like everything we feel and see in this world is three dimensional, because we have not only height, width, but also length, or like so all the three coordinates, something like that. Okay. Uh, so um, so because we have all the three coordinates, we could specify any point in space with that, and they try to um, yeah, I forgot forgetting the English words today. English is not my first language. So they try to scale that principle for not only point in space, but let's say point in sense. Yes, and they find out that if you do like very large vector, maybe let's say from 100 or from 1,000 numbers, you could you could specify um, any meaning in this word, or even a combination of meanings. So they basically translate text to vectors, and if, for example, if you have a text about some food, um, you could you received a translated list of numbers. But the funny thing that when you translate some of the just single word to the vector, the vector will be much shorter, of course. Like, let's say not thousands of numbers, but maybe hundreds of numbers. And funny thing that if you execute some functions which calculate proximity of those vectors, if in the for example in the text you talk about, I forgot about what we're talking, okay, about animals, let's say that, and you transcribe and you convert dog into the vector, and if you calculate proximity of the vectors, and you have multiple text about love, text about uh, animals, text about complex relationship in databases, and so on, so on. And you calculate proximity with each of those texts, which are represented by a long vector, and your word dog with that vector, with those vectors, proximity, or like the biggest or the smallest number, it's depend on the how you calculate it, would be surprisingly, not surprisingly, of course, it's pure mathematics. It would be bigger with text about animals. But funny thing that you have text about food, because hot dog also is a food. You have maybe the next proximity on something with food, because hot dog is a food. So it's work sometimes not very predictably, but it's much uh, nicer way to search something, because it's very fast. It's much faster than go and try to search the text, and it's even, it's about meanings. So the current algorithms allow you to find like hamburgers, even if you search for cheeseburger. So it's very fun. So yeah, if we return to our question about how I can efficiently query my vector database to retrieve relevant response based on transcribed audio, the main thing is that audio should be short, not audio, translated text. If you receive some question, what I'd personally do, uh, I'd ask some LLM to just get some keywords or something, or short text or short keywords from this text for which we should search. So if some person asks about something, and something, I like, let's imagine customer call to customer service of some financial institutions like bank, and he said my card is lost. So it will the LLM will identify that it need to search for card and lost, and for those combination in create vector, and most probably in all the articles that bank has in its database, in vector database, of course it will find with closest proximity article about what to do if your card is lost, then if your something other is lost, and card operation, so everything like that. So again, but I haven't worked with vector database very closely, because, in this world, if you talk about software developer, it doesn't mean it tried everything. And sometimes it can try a lot of things. But for example, no, I tried work with neutral networks when I was at university, and it was like more than 20 years ago. And that time I could say for sure that I didn't recognize the full potential of the neural networks. I was very inspired by them, but you know, when you go to the life, you drive deep, like you go and jump into life. And yeah, it would be nice if you will still have time for hobbies, for learnings every day or at least once a week. I don't know. It's something I believe every human should continue learn every day. And yeah, that's and when I say learn every day, maybe it's not only looking reels in some YouTube or Instagram or I don't know TikToks. Of course, there are some quite informative short videos. I wouldn't say there are not, but I don't know how to jump into that category of reels. It's always you go to something more funny, more just nice pictures and so on. So I try to stop myself as soon as possible. But my kids use that and sometimes they share something to me and I'm like a responsible father should reply to them, at least with some emotions. Yeah. In my time, I have different way of communication with my parents. Now we have multiple way of communications, but if sharing some reels is one of them, so you should follow. Um, at least I want to follow because I understand that if that I never could fully understand other person reasoning, but we still could be very close because we accept each other's values. So it's what I'm doing with my kids. Okay. So learn every day. And so about the databases, I just want again, it's very simple thing. Okay, let's do few things. Let's just start command prompt, and I'm doing my command prompt here. Let me do that. I could switch to my screen and I could go to my project. It would be YouTube AI Helper. And in my implementation for that YouTube AI Helper, uh, I created my virtual environment here. I used to use virtual environment because I work on multiple projects on my computer which require different libraries, configuration, etc. So that's it. Let me start another. Really? Oh, the end, I see. So what I'm doing, I'm activating my virtual environment everywhere, and probably I could try even the last one. So, and it would be, yeah, I'm Windows guy, so here we will start our live transcriber. So it will start and put everything into our live chat using our locally installed Whisper model small because it's execute fine on my CPU, not GPU. And for GPU, I'm still need to do proper setup here because I installed some CUDA drivers of very high version and I rebuilt the Torch library once to support it. But out the box, they still not don't have a ready library of Torch which supports that. So it's in that virtual environment, it will not work. And also let's start Python and let's start live chat bot. But for live chat bot, we also need our current stream ID because our live chat bot is authenticated with different account. So I could test it, dock it with um, chatbot, and chatbot has some um, requirements. At my current implementation, it couldn't talk to itself. So just to not create infinite loop when it talks to itself, when it sees messages from itself, it will skip them. Also, it could skip other messages if it understands that it probably shouldn't respond. It has some logic which has described in some configuration file. So yeah, and from here, probably we could also start our Visual Studio Code if we want to see some yeah. Okay, let's close the questions right now with our yeah, let's close question this question in the live chat. Um, which surprisingly started before even before the stream. So, and for that question, I could suggest that hey, I understand that maybe uh, ChatGPT is not available in every country, but there are so many GPTs. Many of them are free. Like we can imagine GPT in Windows, for example. Let me execute it. Like in latest Windows, they now have like Copilot. I haven't started it yet, so you see it even I even haven't signed in here. But also you could go to Copilot in browser, Control T, Copilot, Microsoft.com, and there are multiple others, including something like Olama, which could be executed on your local machine. So Olama, I don't remember. I don't remember all the commands of Olama. Probably it would be help. Yes. Olama, let's call list. Oh, I have 3 and 3 which wouldn't execute on my machine. And it has run, for example. Yes, serve, start Olama, run a model. So even if we say Olama and run, and for example, Llama 3.2, it's very small model. It's very simple. It will execute probably on most of the computers. I saw that some guy executed a Llama, um, some version of Llama 3.2 with much smaller one on a very old computer, like 20 years old computer running Windows 95, and it was able to execute Llama there. And people asking a question why we haven't used that uh, ChatGPT, or why we not talking to computer like for 30 years. Why so? I believe because no one want to invest money into that 30 years ago or 20 years ago. Yeah, 30 years ago. I believe 95 and 2025. Yeah, looks like 30 years ago. So if you do that, you also could talk to your any model and it would execute on your computer. And to use it, you just need to let, okay, so it's some API. You just need to go to olama.com and that's it. You just need to download. You could not even sign in. And then from Olama, it has, I mean, very simple commands. It has docs here after you download, just to execute any model, quick start, for example. You just specify Olama run, and one of those models, it's all in the registry. There are much more models in the registry. It has special page models, and it will download that model and execute. Look at the size here. Normally, that is the size you require to have of uh, memory, and I'm not talking about disk, but RAM, memory which physical for execution, not on. I mean, yeah, I don't know the terms in English, sorry, but you understand. RAM memory, not SSD, disk, HDD, or something which will be executed, installed in that length of memory. So, but there are something like 2 GB, it surely will execute here, and it's quite a lot of number of parameters. Of course, that thing has a huge number of parameters, but Llama 3.3 is 70 billion, doing, I think, better than this. Of course, for vision, you need a lot of parameters, but yeah. So it's what you can do. And if you return here, you can say hi, and it would be response from the model who I don't know who is the first president of United States. You see, it's now something that knowledge is limited, of course, to like 18 months ago or 12 months ago, but surely it's quite helpful. So I want just to return here and say that not there are no streamer who knows everything. Maybe if you can talk to some of the creator of your database like Faiss or Qdrant, but right now we already at the point where those LLMs know much more than any human generally. But of course, in some specific areas, they are not up to date, and specialists know in their areas still more information than models. But if we talk about general knowledge, of course, LLM is much more capable than any human. Maybe not any, but 99.999999% of human living in this world, it's already true. Do you like it or not? So let's try ChatGPT. It's completely free version of ChatGPT. I don't have any subscription on that account. So we can ask that, and maybe we can say, like, please explain me like I'm completely new, or explain me like I am a child, or etc. etc. In a very simple words, you can use whatever you want. Let's compare just answer to that question in several models, including our local Olama, which is very fast, by the way. Oh, really? So let's start with ChatGPT. It's for or because I'm still have some. I mean, I could ask about maybe 20, 40 questions a day with for or, and then I will be switched yeah, to for or mini, and I still could ask it infinite number of questions. So it's a prepare audio transcript data probably using Whisper. Okay. Process text. Clean the transcription by removing filter words, normalize case, and removing non-essential data. Maybe we can do it with LLM. Embed the text. Choose the embedding model. Yeah, ADA is one of the famous, and it's pretty good. ADA 002. Like OpenAI embeddings, sentence bird, a similar. Okay, maybe sentence bird also is very cool. I use text embedding ADA for my test, and it works very nice. Generic vector representation of the transcript, ensure embeddings are consistent with the ones used to populate your vector database. Generate embeddings. It even includes some code how you could easily generate embeddings using several models. Query the vector database. It says setup connection, and it's using Python for that case for that sample. And it's a query your database. So import, load the index, and create the query. And embedding in that case would be that embedding which we calculated here with that our embedding model. So, and it search vector and receive top 5, top most closest result, let's say that, and it shows that in the indices and distance, basically it shows a result. And it's the same version with Q, I don't know how to spell it, Qdrant or QDR and whatever. So it's very similar syntax. Probably it should execute on locally as a server. So it shows that it will select the top 5 results. Once you retrieve the most relevant entries, extract and present the relevant parts of the data, combine similar results, a snippet, highlight, etc., etc. How we could enhance optimization tips. So you see, it's no much more than me because it could provide you some code, everything. And if you don't understand some concept, you can ask it indefinitely about, please understand, please, yeah, describe me something, and so on. And here with Copilot, okay, it's, oh, really? Where's Whisper? Okay, they thought Google speech to text, IBM Watson speech to text, generate embeddings. They thought BERT, GPT-3, or other transform-based models, store embeddings, query database, retrieve results. I like ChatGPT more. Let's see, let's see our local model, local Llama 3.2, because I could execute it easily. Why? Because yeah, it doesn't require a lot of memory. It's very small, very performant for local use case. And oh, let's just create new file and let's select it will be markdown. Why I'm selecting new file? Really, mm, I don't need to open. I want to new file. Select file type. Okay, let's select text file. Let's insert here. Markdown. It's already understand, and that we could preview it. We could even make our font bigger, and now we could at least read something. Efficiently querying vector database for retrieval based on transcribed audio requires careful consideration. Okay, there are some tips. Preprocess the audio file by extracting relevant features. Spectral features, deep learning based models that capture essential information. Normalize the clarity to ensure you have similar magnitudes. You know, it's something very complex. Use suitable indexing algorithms like, is it okay? That's it. So probably because we copied not very well, it's break the structure. I believe it's just repeating some word for some reason. I don't know to leverage. Let's just let's just beautifying it. Again, we could use even ChatGPT. Uh, OpenAI SDK interface to work with Olama. It's supported. Like whenever you want to use OpenAI, you can use Olama and it will work well. Of course, you should specify some base index, base server, um, and some additional use quadrant. Remember you. Okay, now it should be slightly better. Preprocessing, indexing algorithm like annoy ways to build efficient index of your vector database, query formulation, formulate a query set of constraints and conditions that match the desired response characteristic, vectorization, quantization. I think it's doing more complex things than we actually need because I believe ChatGPT's response is much more simpler. But maybe if we ask it, can you please return me some simplest code in Python to implement this task for Faiss with proper explanations. I treat me like I don't have experience in vector DB. And it trying to satisfy us with prediction of next tokens. Here is a simple example. Let's just compare if it's too simple or not. Okay, let's go here, just insert to see what it's actually provided to us. Install necessary packages. Faiss numpy. Looks good. Okay, it's following its own yeah, index structure, generate random vectors, create a flat two vectors, okay, query in the vector database, index metric index at vectors, with the vectors, okay, some vectors, define a query function, index search, number of 10, sample vectors, results, print results. Okay, and with local, now incorporate my initial request to search transcribed audio from user in my existent vector DB. Now it's used by audio, really. I mean, by audio is good, but it's not about transcribing. Maybe it will use something, open, extract from audio data. So as we see, it it can of course provide some even helpful context, but it's not as smart as frontier models for sure, but it could be very helpful. It could be very helpful. Maybe if it says that we need a textual representation of how the transcriptions, it would generate some other code, but you see it's generate code pretty well. And if we want and thinking about generating a code, and we're talking about Olama, of course, I think we could go to Olama website and look at the existing models. And there are some nice models which could generate, so we're not, maybe even not newest, but let's see code. And let's say popular, Code Llama, Code Strill, Quencoder. I know that Quencoder was pretty popular before to work with code-specific tasks because it's like it's providing code reasoning. I mean, like O1 or like O3 models. So and it will receive pretty high um, mark grades, in multiple um, yeah, comparisons with other models. Like you see, even with human evaluation, it received even higher rank than GPT-4 and even more than Cloudy 3 and 5 Sonnet, which well known for that. And even if you look on some other metrics, you see it's beat multiple models on those metrics, but it's shine in coding task and code reasoning, code generation, etc. And it could be executed on your local computer very easily. It's not that big model. There are multiple versions of those models, uh, of course, and you could see different models. The big has 32 billion parameters. That is like 14 billion parameters, etc. You see, it's required 9 gigabytes of storage on your local machine. Okay. I believe we close the task with um, with vector DB. Probably we return to vector DB later when we need to. Maybe we could ask about if I was right or not when I proposed to prepare the text for searching. If user ask a long question, will it retrieve efficient results from vector DB, or if we need prep process, what kind of prompt we could seek from LLM to prepare our recognized text. I'm sorry, text for the vector search. I'm sorry. If the user asks a long question, retrieving efficient results from a vector database may depend on the quality and relevance of the input query vector. Long question or text can sometimes introduce noise, making it harder for embedding to focus on the core intent of the query. Preprocessing the query text before embedding can significantly improve retrieval results. Focus on key concepts, improve embedding quality, avoid noise. Summarize the query, shorten the question to capture main intent, extract keywords. Yeah, you see it's only second. Rephrase verbose text, remove irrelevant context. LLM prompt to prepare text for vector search. Summarize the following question to focus on its main idea. Can you tell me how I can example input? Can you tell me how I can query my vector database such as to retrieve the most relevant response from a large data set? And output how I can query a vector database. Okay, extract keywords. Example input, what is the best way to preprocess audio transcription querying? Here, output preprocess, audio transcription, efficient querying, vector database. Yeah, it's something I did in my experience. It's provided better results than use the full phrase. Rephrase for consciousness. Consciousness. Yeah. If I have a long and detailed user query, will it impact retrieval efficiency from a vector database, or should output does preprocessing long queries improve vector database retrieval efficiency and identify the core intent? Again, we retrieve our main question. How can preprocessing improve vector database query results? Automate preprocessing, okay, and so on. So yeah, some preprocessing of some user questions, of course, could help. But if we talk about a very long user text, of course, it would provide relevant, but maybe not exactly what we are looking into. Okay. So I believe we could continue. Let's just close that examples. We recently committed most of our code. I believe it would be beneficial if we create some smaller video tutorial how to use that tool now, because it's become pretty large. It consists of more and more things like a real-time transcriber, a chatbot which use context from our real-time transcriber, and so on, and some news extractors, some discussion starters, something we created for our live streaming for help us start some topics, reply some questions in chat, provide real-time chat context to our chatbot, and so on. So our chatbot is, yeah, it is. I see your comment with some delay, so maybe I'm already talking about something else. And yeah, how to exit it? Control D. Okay. So if you want to ask some follow-up question, ask it in more full details. And our chatbot decided to message filter skip message. Yes, it is. It decided, okay, I don't know what is yes, it is. I will skip it. So artificial intelligence made a choice to skip. So today I'm thinking about not starting entirely a new project because it's require, yeah, some concentration, and probably I got some flu or something because yeah, sore uh thread, not thread, throat. Yeah, I forgot the words. It's nonsense. and yeah, my head not very clear. So I decided to go and check one of the requests from my wife. Uh, Sometimes we play some lottery. Uh, I live in US, so we play uh, in state Washington, but we have two national lotteries. Uh, Washington State Lottery, and it would be our. Mm, so we have Powerball and Mega Millions with pretty good prices. Right now, wouldn't say it's small. It's millions of dollars, but sometimes those lotteries can grow up to more than 1 billion. And once it was very close to $2 billion, or even more than $2 billion. So it's enormous amount of money, and we play sometimes, and we very rarely win. Sometimes we win $2 from $10 spent on tickets, sometimes even less. I mean, even less, it's nothing. So why she said, if you work with some AI, why you can't ask AI to predict next numbers? So probably we'll do that today. We try to receive some history of that lotteries, and we try to build some prompt and ask different models, maybe O1, O1 Pro, GPT-4o, also Cloud, Sonnet. So different models from different companies. I will write down those numbers and I'll play the lottery using those numbers. And then maybe it would be not for one draw, but for multiple draw, maybe for two, for three draws, the same numbers. I know which numbers belong to which model. And then I'll see if any model wins, and we can rank models on how they win or not. Maybe it allow me to win something, but let's be realist. Um, Chances to win in such lottery, I mean, to play a jackpot, it's very, very low. It's 1 to billion chances, or even to multiple billions, maybe to 30 billions, or to maybe to hundreds of billions. But yeah, it doesn't say it chances, because if it's clearly say your chances, you probably wouldn't play at all. Um, yeah, but what is past 180 days, 2025, 2024? So we have some numbers here, but it would take us a fortune to get all the numbers from here, correct? So maybe I could find some website which contains some historical data. Then we could scribe that historical data in some form. And current models, current reasoning models doesn't support uploading of files rather than images. So we need to combine those numbers into some form so it understands the history, and provide it so it have the full context. So, and let's see. And if I win, or any model wins, I rank the models. How good are they with predictions? Maybe they will be so good that I will win all the lotteries, and after that, all people start using it, and lotteries will stop, and they will be extinct because of models. But I don't think so. With that, in my best chances is 1 in million, not maybe 1 in billion, but it's still very small. But yeah, let's try to do that, because I promised my wife to do that. And why we play in the lottery if chances are so small? So we don't spend a lot of money. We play maybe once a month, and we spend very few dollars on that. And it's, like sending a signal to universe that, hey, if you want to know my opinion, I'm still want some money. So if you can help me this way, it would be nice. I believe that universe in my case should help us in some other way. I should maybe work more or think more because yeah, there are different people with different possibilities. Probably I could think something more realistic than winning a lottery, but sending that signals just to be current with our dreams or wishes, it's what we do. So, okay, Powerball and Mega Millions. Let's try to search um, power Powerball numbers generator history. Powerball previous results. Powerball last results. US today, Powerball net. And we have Powerball.com. Accept all Powerball. And what's the start date we could choose? Oh, it's not in the future. In the past, release. What if we will use 74 and add date today? Search. Will it search all the results? Oh, a lot more, really? Oh, it would be very hard to scribe. Very hard to scribe. US mega million. Let's ask ChatGPT. Maybe I could use some of the no, where is my page? Looks like I closed my page completely with my open chats. Let's use that. Hi, where I can find historical data for US lotteries like Powerball for all the time and preferably in text or table format. Let it search official Powerball web results, powerball.com US Mega, okay, Powerball results, Lotto America, statistic provide you with comprehension history. And Powerball statistics, number one frequency 84. So days ago, last drawn, and do we have choose draw periods? 92. Do we have not only statistic but maybe something like history, numbers, previous results, results archive? Okay, something we can scribe in next year. Okay, yeah, looks good. It's better. And yeah, it's a different version. US Mega. Let's see how it's. I like that website. It's remind me old good, websites of .com era or even before .com era, probably .com era because it's not Web 2, not Web 3, whatever it says. Next, Mega Millions. Okay, uh, past results. Mega Millions, Powerball past results. Ways to win, Mega Millions statistic. Start PDF is probably some, and it has page 2. Next, next, next. Ways to win statistic. Search past result. Search Mega Million past drawing. Smallest price to find. No. Power search. Enter number to find. No. Quick pick. Where to play. Past results. So here we have not much. And it would be next. Oh, to the very end. And it's starting from 96. And we talk about Mega Millions and Powerball. If we go to the very end, from 92. And here 92 is Powerball. And if you talk about Mega Millions numbers, previous result, choose a year. So yeah, it started in 1996. Archive results. So 1996, and so which site to use? This or that? Here we have 139 pages. Here we have just about 30, 96 to 2025, 30 pages. Okay. Archive here. So what we'll do, we will do as always. Hey, I am looking for a way to scribe all the previous lottery results from the page in range to the page the page content looks like this. Let's inspect. Has more section, I think. Yeah, I mean, we will need to make less queries, I believe. I need to update my live chat bot to include current, yeah, current live stream. Can you please read current stream to update your context? I don't know this. I don't know if it will listen to me, but let's try. Can you write something simple and effective in Python? The structure I am looking to date, year, months, day, numbers divided by comma, per line. Please store it to the file. Okay, let's ask like that. Basically, we provide too much information to the ChatGPT or it should be. Does my bot decided to skip me? Yes. It's not possible. Uh, how to mention it? If I answer it by its name, will it understand that? From romantic developer, please time, let let it come. Okay, so it get current real-time stream content. It's took it and it's tried to respond something to me, but it was it was yeah concatenated. So and we received a response from our chatbot. The stream discusses data collection for lottery results, exploring historical data sources, and improving a chatbot to manage updates effectively. Suggestion for structuring that also been mentioned probably. Okay, thank you. At least it's updated as to this moment, so maybe it wouldn't be so dumb. And let's see if it replied to me anything. Yeah, it replied me with request and beautiful soap. Beautiful soap will work if it's not dynamic content, but website doesn't look like it's dynamic content. So maybe we could start maybe new window and new file, Python file. I have no idea where it will be preserved. So let's can we run it? Okay, it's required me to preserve it. Let's save it because it's asked. It shows a full hierarchy. We save it in C projects, romantic developer, and new folder. And it would be our lottery. It would be lottery. So we preserve it in lottery. Maybe let's open folder or really lottery. Select folder. So now we have lottery. Let's Python. Let's create environment here. Virtual environment. And we will use what we have in our global path. It will create virtual environment here. Requirements txt. And we have those files. I don't know the version of them. So let's wait until it create environment. It will create here scripts, libs and everything. So we will be, maybe it's two small projects. It doesn't require for us that virtual environment, but it's a good practice, I believe. Now, if we start new command prompt, it will should start in our virtual environment. So if you say something like that, it will install it and we can have requests version like this. Oh, Beautiful SOP 4, really? 4.12.3. So we installed the latest. Our Copilot know only those. So now if we decide to install the same files here, it will install nothing because all the requirements already satisfied. So even if we commit it and someone will install, they will have exactly the same version as we. So mega million results start here and here, and it's just read it and file write, file write. Where's the file? Date formatted, number formatted to the file. Mega millions results. Oh, here's the file. So now let's try to execute it. Let's call it historical lottery results. Okay. So Python and historical lottery results. It doesn't have any login, but it's already created a file. And we have all our results, just less than 3,000 lines. And let's just January, they're not exactly in the proper order. Probably proper order of results is important for predictions, I believe. Of course, the models are pretty clever to do it themselves, but let's do it here in the code as well. Yeah, let's just ask. Let's just ask. We always can ask. Our models can do a lot, but I want where is our lottery results? Powerball? No, not that site. Come on, I lost my website with lottery results. Maybe here. Okay, Mega Millions is here. And if we do not Mega Millions but Powerball, okay, we see exactly the same thing. In 1992. Cool. It's working. I want to update the code to get Powerball results as well. It range is from to awesome. The page is looking like, I believe it's completely the same, but let's double sure that it's the same. Let's copy the page output. Also, please update the code to preserve results. Mm, to preserve results in proper order from most from older to newer. Let's see, ChatGPT should respond to us very quickly. It just do quick search. Really? Is it lost its context? Hey, I mean, please update the Scrubber code with my requirements. That should never happen to like large models like O1 or O3. Really? I don't think it's too big context for that. Okay, now what? Let's ask that. I have a code. Let's just make it looks like a code for it because it's they work, they live in Word of Markdown actually. I want to update and look let's look on the very end where we said about order. Let's do like that. It should do better now. Okay, start year, end year, scrape results year, game name, HTML parser, start year, end year. So it put everything in all results, date formatted, and key is lambda x first date. And date formatted is year, month, day, date par, month, day. Okay, it will be two lottery results in um, different dates. I want separate file for each lottery. Also, let's see our lotteries here. Powerball is from 1992 and Mega Millions is from 1996. So scrape lottery results, lottery name, start year, end year, URL template results class results, lottery results, okay, Mega Millions, date class, number tag. So it's all the same. Archive year. Cool. Let's see if it still try to numbers. Get text true for num results, find all number tag. Date text. Cool. The only thing left is to properly order it by date in each year from most old to most recent. So we are very close, and then we need to write some cool prompt for our chat for our LLMs. Good. Okay, find year start and year plus one range template format year. Okay, response date text date obj date text bdy balls result numbers get all results append date obj result sort and then we sort. Okay, now it looks like a code. Let's test it locally. I don't see I don't see any issues here. Response time. Let's add some. Oh, we did wrong. Don't save. We actually don't need that file anymore. I'm sorry. We need to find here. And we just can say that print. Yeah, it's what I want. Okay. And 96, 92. Okay. Python historical lottery results. And let's see what it will do. Mega Millions. So far, looking good. Oh, I see Mega Million results. Let's start from September. Okay, now it looks better. So in 2025, we have only 4 till January 14th. A good number. 4, 6, 3, 3, 4, 6. Okay, not so good. And that could repeat actually, because it's Powerball. Let's just check if everything is right, and then we will be good. We'll do very quick check. We'll just go to 2025, close this. It's our Powerball. Powerball. Let's go to the end. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 results. 7 results. And we have 6, 12, 28, 35, 36, 26. Oh, really? Oh, it's also adds. Oh, it's adds those. You see, those and double play results. I don't want double play results. 841 January 1st, January 15, 841, 52, 53, 58, 7. Then multiplier 3, 11 to 15. And we have balls SM, date, bonus, multiplier, power play. And how we do search for those numbers here. We do balls find all lead result. Div date results balls sm result find class Mm, do. Let's edit this HTML. Just to not test it, we can quickly ask, oh, ChatGPT, and one of the lottery more data that's needed. I want only first UL results and um, just all this class what expression I would use to select this and beautiful soap. It should be very, so it's remember our context. It would be class ball, so balls find only find. So it says find will find on the first, only the first L. So not find all, but find like first probably. The find is to locate first. Okay. That's what I want to hear. So we can go here, historical data, balls, and just replace Z balls with Z balls. So it should be good. Powerball. Actually, we can fetch only Mega Million is fine. Just Powerball. Okay. So we can, yeah, comment that code and to execute only this one. Here we just can go and remove that code and do another run of Powerball data. Okay, let's see. Now it looks much better. Let's verify very quickly the last year, 15, 4. Yeah. January 15, 4, 41, 52, 54, 40, 41, 52, 53, 58, 7. 52, 53, 58, 7, 3, x3. Come on, we are very close, but not here yet. In numbers, I want to find only except this class multiplier. It should understand what I mean. So please, Lee elements. Okay, something like that. And let's look on our code. Balls. Full balls find all Lee. Lee get text if Lee. Okay. So basically like that. Find Lee. If not Lee, get class multiplier. It would be Lee elements. Basically, it would be numbers. And that we also don't need. Okay. So hopefully the last run, of course we could just transform that file, but I just want to preserve that file for future in case I just want to get more results, fresh results. If I want to try it ever again, maybe it will allow me to win something. So let's see now. We have 5 number and Powerball. Look good. So now we finish by 7, 8, 4, 3, 6, 32, 65, 4, January 11, January 11, 2025. Okay. So what would be our LLM text? We even try to LLM text txt. Maybe we could ask something from ChatGPT as well, but of course we will modify it for our best understanding. Hi, I am going to ask my LLM to try to predict next lottery numbers, providing it history of past drawings. Please tell me possible prompt and what exactly I should include into it. Which are the best strategies of predicting such numbers? Let's ask GPT-4. It's not the smartest model, but it's quite fast. suggested based on the historical data of past lottery drawn provided below, analyze and observe patterns and trends. Using the analysis, generate a set of numbers that could potentially be drawn in future lottery events. Please note that this is theoretical exercise and the randomness of lottery draws means that predictions cannot be guaranteed. Data to include historically data draw, strategies, frequency analysis, statistical methods. Some of statistical methods analyze historical data attempts to identify trends or patterns. For instance, machine learning model like random forest have been employed to analyze sequence of past lottery draws. These models aim to predict the next draw based on past sequence, but their effectiveness is limited due to the inherent randomness of lotteries. Yes, it's what I'm telling. It's very hard to predict. It's mostly impossible. AI-powered tools designed to generate lottery number predictions based on extensive historical data. Those tools analyze billions of data points to identify patterns and trends. However, it's crucial to approach such tools with caution as their predictions are theoretical. Important considerations. So let's use suggested prompts and let's go here to our Visual Studio. Probably we could close that one for now. So based on historical data and past lottery drawings, analyze any observance patterns and trends. Using this analysis, generate a set of numbers that could potentially be drawn in 2-3 future lottery draws events. Please note that this is theoretical and prediction cannot be guaranteed. Please utilize different strategies to generate such number sequences. You can provide up to 3 number combinations. So lottery rolls. Let's look on the lottery rolls now. We have Powerball. So Powerball numbers, participant states. Oh, really? Not every American how to play. Collect Powerball strip, choose Powerballs. Double play, how to claim prizes. Summarize rules of how to choose numbers. And their ranges. Using this page. So GPT-4, we are using you again. Optional. Remember to check. Historical data. Okay, it would be Powerball. Let's just check. Yeah, it's Powerball. Well, historical data format. Per line. Year, months, day. First main number. Favorable number. Okay. It would be first, it would be second, it would be third, it would be fourth, and it would be really. We need also, and that will be fixed. Favorable number. And do we have comma after that? Probably yes. No, we don't. Nice. And that given results are ordered from older to newer in the last line. Okay, we are ready. It looks like people trying to beat that very, very long time because in our chat replace here, it provides some sources and it's even a GitHub project which try to use some dependencies and it use some read file and use some different algorithms to predict the future numbers. And idea, okay, it's the file and it's read numbers and it's some logic here. Okay, and there are even few people using that. Yes, one master branch, one star. Okay, and to Lify, we also have something like lottery chart, AI-driven tool for predicting lottery numbers using historical data. Added September. So maybe people who won any lotteries use that. I'm not sure, but again, its probability is very small. Okay, so let's duplicate the tab, but here we will say it would be new chat and it would be O1 and it would be O1 Pro. So what else? What else? Probably we could give me a second. I have those models open on my different page. Probably. Oh no, not on this computer. So let me log in with my accounts, personal accounts on different screen. I'm sorry. So models from Anthropic. It's cloudy, very known models. Load Metro, and we are using this model using limited free plan. Okay. And I believe I have a dev account on Cloudy just to try them more. But yeah, So they have the same as ChatGPT. You can pay for ChatGPT to do the things in chat interface, or you can try to do something with API, and it also costs something. But so we have Gemini. Let's use Gemini 2.0. Try Gemini Advanced. I will not try. So what else we could have here? We have ChatGPT 4. Let's clear it. Let's remove search. GPT-01, GPT-01 Pro Mode, Cloudy. It's a new chat. Cloudy 3.5 Sonnet and Gemini 2. Of course, we could execute Olama, but yeah, most probably it will not do the very best. Let's execute Olama. 3.2 because 3.3 will not run on this computer. So it would be our fourth model. And let's say models predictions txt, and we put today date. Today is 2025 1/17. Okay, it's LLM text Powerball. Let's duplicate that file and we call it Mega Millions. And for Powerball, last drawings, it would be our Mega Millions. Powerball, I'm sorry, Powerball. Copy LLM text for Powerball would be here. So let's format our text. Okay, Mega Millions. We do differently. We just go here and go to the end. On my computer end. I mean with shift. Can I go with shift? Shift. Do I need to enable numlock? Okay. Anyway, it's faster. So, and we insert here Mega Millions. Mega Millions inserted. Then the only thing we just need to update rules for Mega Millions, okay? How to play Mega Millions. Prizes generator participant states info. How to play. Summary for number ranges from 0 to 70, from 1 to 25, from 0 to 70, from 1 to 25. And it's called, probably, it's called something like megaball. Doesn't matter how it's called, Powerball or megaball, but because those models could have own knowledge of these lotteries, it's better to not trick them. But megaball. Okay, moment of truth. Maybe they said, hey, you're violating rules of ChatGPT. No, it doesn't want to insert. Okay, now it's inserted. So if I remove some test data, '96, they just don't me allow to use all of those things, correct? Okay, let's remove everything till 2000. Still 2008. Oh, really? So this model probably will not win. But again, it's not completely adequate comparison because I have subscriptions in ChatGPT, but don't have in Cloud, in Anthropic, correct? Okay. And Gemini, will it help me? It just remove some of the content, and it's require upgrades. Yeah, it surely will not numbers like main numbers, Powerball, combination 2, combination 3. Of course, it's not exactly, but let's see, GPT-4o. Oh, let's come here, historical model predictions. GPT-4o, GPT-01, GPT-01 Pro, Gemini, mm, Cloud 3.5. So let's see. Oh, and it's all mega millions. Is it? Yeah. Come on, is it mega millions? Powerball. Okay, good to know, good to know. Don't want to play wrong number. Powerball. Okay, and it would be mega millions. Mega millions. So let's get our results. Observation pattern, consistent number. Okay, number generated strategies combination would be this. Would be balance spread would be this. Maybe they would be the same, in different chat. Let's see O1. And we have frequency based main 14. 14. Okay. Hot and cold strategy, it would be those 10. And randomized strategy would be some random number. 15. Okay. No winners so far. I mean, no the same numbers. O1 Pro, frequency weighted hot. Uh, I I wonder how they use the same patterns and receive completely different numbers. Yeah. Will I have enough money to play all of them? Hmm? Pattern, random, and hybrid approach. 10, 17, 36, 33, 65, 66, and 14. We have 14. It's in 3 strategies, and 19 is number 2. It's in 2, at least for Powerball. And if you, yeah, get the Powerball, okay. So most probably we couldn't get results from Cloudy and Gemini. Of course, it does haven't provided the full, pr- full um, context because it's just have context for a few years from 92 to 99. So let's minimize our cost and use GPT models for that exercise. And I'll prepare maybe for the next run. After we will see results of those models, we could add more models, like maybe week, in 1 week or in 2 weeks. And I'll use my API accounts on those companies in Google, in Anthropic, and prepare some notebook. And we will use API, the same query, the same data, and we will receive results just in notebook and preserve it. So we said it will not be used, and most probably my local model doesn't have enough memory, context memory for process that. But let's try. Let's send, paste. So the same here that yeah, probably we can connect our local models as well. Please Can I stop it? No. What's going on here? Um, it just get my input, like all my input as new text. So it just interpret read line like new lines as new message. So you see, it cannot stop. It- So if I click Control C, it just processes to the next, and Control D doesn't work. Okay, let it work sometime. So local, it would be our to do. So let's go to our current model predictions and local Olama as well. So we will prepare better for the next time, because today, even with our relaxed stream, I believe we already have, it's pretty long, correct? Let me see. I forgot to connect to the stream, but yeah, I see comments on my phone. Okay, mostly 2 hours, mostly 2 hours of stream, guys. So let's try with Mega Millions. I record the numbers, and that's it. I'll try to find a way to fill them and tell you the results. Oh, LLM text Mega Millions. Okay. So let's go to our models once again. Let's start new chat to have the very fresh results. And let's ask the same question, because ChatGPT allow us to insert such big uh, messages. It's fine. With other things, I will use my API accounts. I have my API accounts and I have some money in them, like few dollars, but it should be fine. So Mega Millions. Let's write our results. Oh, really? So GPT-4, mm, GPT-4 actually, you see, it's writing some code which use pandas to read the data and to parse that, but it couldn't execute it. Let's re-execute it. Maybe do better this time. GPT-01 provided us with results. Again, it has different strategies, but okay. So let's write it here. And it would be model predictions, Mega Millions, O1, Z. Let's put them in the same format as before. So first number, second number, and what is mix and match balance strategy? Okay. I like that numbers are not repeating mostly. You see, I see only number like 62 is repeating. 27, by the way, and 14 here. So at least 3 repetitive numbers. O1 Pro. Let's see the result for Mega Millions. Disclaimer. These sections are purely illustrative and not assure you any winnings. Okay, I'll go to court and file a suit against OpenAI because I didn't win. And what is the Megabolus tree? Then it would be low and high balance and 18. And randomized, it would be Z and 7. Okay, those and local Olama, we will mark them as well to do in our next run, which we will do in some time. And for or, this time probably it's created something. It didn't show how it's achieved that result. Maybe it's executed some internal code, which is very possible. But let's just receive those results, write them, and it would be 7. And the last number would be n24. So we have total 18 numbers, and I'll have you a winners maybe in a week. I have you a winners in a week. If anyone from those could win at least one lottery ticket, at least $2. So for $2, it should guess those number. And we see that 14 probably is the leader. It's 3 times. 19, 1, 2, and that's it. 3, 1, 2, and that's it. Okay. So 14 is a leader in power, in Mega Ball. Oh, it's in Powerball. Oh, I combined Mega Millions and ICM. Sorry. So 14 is winner here for sure. And in those numbers we have now. Let's just ask combined what we will use a model. Maybe O1, I like it the most. Okay, I have. Let's start new chart. Okay, I have predicted numbers for lottery from multiple models. Can you provide me one set with numbers of highest probability from those results? One set, one set. Yeah, so the last should be 14. Just to have number like 10. 10 numbers. 10 numbers, $20. Power numbers? Did it get it that it's Powerball? Okay. Let's get the last combination. And I think on that we will wrap up today's stream. And if I feel any better, or even maybe if not, we still continue, try to start our work on our next version of our helper, AI helper for YouTube and for video creators, which will be built as a real agent with agentic ways of thinking and executing the task. Come on, O1, it's not O1 Pro. Will you think 10 minutes? Purely mathematical prediction from based on other predictions, correct? Okay. Really? Oh, it's already picking the assumption. Power number 14. Final coverage set. Okay, let's take the main numbers. They looks not exactly possible. So can you do the same for those predictions? Thank you. But I mean, sometimes for my code task, uh, for my very complex code task where I provide multiple inputs, it replied me like in seconds, say, "Hey, I synced, and I think that is the best answer." And of course, it's not. But here, it did so many steps. The task, yeah, tricked ChatGPT 01. Maybe it's want me to win something. But yeah, I guessed right 14. And if we look that, for example, 28, it's two times. So it's, oh, I'm sorry, here. 28, it's two times, so it's included here. 53, it's two times. 63, it's two times. And 66, it's two times. And 14, of course, it's three times. And 22 is two times. So it's choose some safe numbers which present in multiple Z. Let's also set here combined to one. So we will have 10 numbers from each model. And it has example final pick 3. Yeah, looks good. So we have our numbers. We have our numbers. And as I said, today is January 17th. Most probably in a week, I could tell you a result, maybe in 8 days, how well those numbers are winning or not. So yeah, I need to fill special blanks for playing that lottery and get in time, in some good time when lottery service is working, not like very late time like I'm doing my stream. So, and then probably I will, yeah, I'll receive some checks and I could check my numbers whenever results are in. So in a few days, like probably in a week, I'll say you what the model guessed best and if I win anything or not. Because most probably, based on my experience, I win nothing. But again, as I said before, it's a sign I send to universe. It's like a signal. It say, hey, I think if you're thinking about yeah gifting me something, money is a thing I wouldn't resist. Of course, big money. We are doing with AI models. Uh, Next thing we are doing, of course, I mean, everything we are doing here, we are doing helpers, basically agents which help us. So, of course, uh, oh, number predictions, yes. I didn't limit the models. So each model choose choose each strategy. And if you look at the strategies, they describe those strategies here pretty well. So that most frequent hot number strategy. So they identify main numbers, megaball numbers, and they try to see how frequently they appear in the recent rows. And then they see that some numbers appear more frequently than others. And based on that, they look for the next hot numbers, yes, which appear more frequently than others, and doing its predictions. So, uh, but again, if you ever saw how lottery system works, it's all number falling. So it's not something that every number has. It's like throwing a money. Yeah, when you could have one side or another. Predictions, of course, would be always 50%, but yeah, some side could fall off more often than other. But it could be due to multiple things we don't know about physics, about movement speed. Maybe some person knows some movement that if he just throws that monet and return, it's return on one side more frequently than on other. So again, maybe such things also exist in that physical lottery systems, but of course they change it. They doing something to make sure that it's really random. So yeah, winning a lottery with AI is think nearly impossible, I'd say. But we try and again, it's just a joke because anyway, I'm going to buy some tickets, as I said, maybe once a month. Uh, so I I I haven't bought any tickets this year yet. So I think it's a good chance that I could do that with AI. And my wife, hearing how I'm excited about current AI possibilities, and they're so clever that they're much clever than most of the humans in the world. Um, and when I say clever, I mean knowledge, of course, because hopefully they couldn't think. They just could provide the knowledge and even the reasoning and still knowledge. But they're very knowledgeable, and people don't know the difference between knowledge and thinking and intellect, intuition, and everything. Um, it's not about my wife, but I like, for example, about my mother. She just afraid of anything compared where AI is a word. So, and she just asked me if AI is so good, maybe it could predict something, and that's what we try to do today, providing uh, freedom to choose the strategy and the final answer to the different models, as you saw. And we can repeat that exercise maybe in a month or maybe in several weeks at least. So it should be already February, and we could try that exercise with larger set of models because today only ChatGPT allow me to insert such a big context because other models ask for money. It's understandable. I have money and I have API accounts, but I'm not ready just to spread that stream so long to achieve that results today as well. But yeah, all our work connected to AI right now, we ask AI something during development, ask AI as part of development, or as result of our development. We have programs which uh, too much money for what? For buying the tickets or for winning anything? So if those models predictions allow us to win something, it would be pretty uh, big amount of money. Um, Too much money for AI bot? No, I mean it's it's not much money if we look at the current mm, Do we have something like developer? Platform, I'm sorry. I I go directly from OpenAI. So, and if you look at the pricing, and if we look, yeah, by the way, they recently make O1 available for executing through AI. So you see pricing for O1 because before it was only O1 preview and it was available to only limited number of people. So price per 1 million tokens. And if we look on our question to get the result with all that history, let's find something like tokenizer from OpenAI. Do we have that or not? OpenAI platform. Okay, let's come here. So it's actually, yeah, the tokenizer work for most of those models. You see that we received about 80,000 tokens, 80,000 tokens in our request. And in response, let's probably duplicate that. Let's get some response, for example, from ChatGPT O1 Pro model. It's very big response. And let's see, in response, we receive about less than 1,000 tokens. So 80,000 tokens. And if you see current pricing for those models, if you look for GPT-4o, the latest one, it would be $2.5 for 1 million tokens. So if it will be, let's just ask, if 1 million input tokens cost 250 and 1 million output costs, let's see how it's much cost, $10. Again, in my development, my utilities and my chat, I'm using Omini. It's provide very similar results, but you see it's cost very small amount of tokens, much less, 10 times less, more than 10 times less than GPT-4o. But okay, we use GPT-4o. Let's say $10. My input is 80,000 tokens and my output is 1,000 tokens. How much do I pay? Again, for that, I will pay much less than $1 if even I use OpenAI, probably 10 cents or something. So let's see how it will calculate. Okay, not 10, 20, 20 few cents, 21 cents. Okay, I'll pay for that amount of data 21 cents for GPT-4o, and let's say let's calculate that for O1. Oh, really? It's much more costly. Anyway, it would be below $1. Of course, in that case, do you want to pay $1 to get results for some not very predictable results, which probably will win nothing? Probably not. Again, in my development, I work with that O1 mini or GPT-4o mini model, and for news, I use O1 mini, which comparable to GPT-4, but I use it only for one request where I need more meaningful like gathering of news information. Mostly I use for Omini, and I mean that is so if you pay like 21 cents for O, you will pay like 20 times like 1 cent for that request, and it's not much actually. You will not do a lot of such requests. So in that case, we will pay $1.26 if we will use API. But that GPT-4o and GPT-o1 is available to anyone with subscription. Subscription costs $20, and of course, I understand Sam Altman, which says that they underestimated how much people will use their subscriptions, so they lose money on subscriptions. That's why they use money. They lose money. And again, maybe this higher level price will go down and down because yeah, the more you use, the less you pay. Especially it's visible in Azure pricing, but I'm just looking from O1 here. But again, I suggest that O1 GPT-4o Mini, it's very cool model which can do mostly everything we need, and it's do pretty well. I use it for my uh, summarization for my YouTube channel, and it's worked really well. And my price tag for months below $5, I believe, for that model. For everything I do with any amount of stream content and data. But of course, you can, yeah, run locally, run models locally. If you have powerful PC, it would be even less money, or you can use some free websites like Google Colab and run more powerful models there. Of course, open sourced, and you will pay nothing as well. But yeah, you will wait your responses much longer time. It's always there are always an options, but right now, price I'll pay for those requests as part of my stream and everything that is really minimal. I don't feel it yet. Maybe if I have thousands of viewers, thousands of questions in my channel, I will revisit my approach. But right now, yeah, it cost me mostly nothing. Okay, so yeah, I'd say we spent few dollars today to ask our questions about how to win in lottery. Let's wait for results and let's hope for some winnings. And actually, yeah, I just understand that I did all that calculations here, and it's provide very nice calculations. I show you some screens, but I forget that I already switched off. Yeah, I calculate tokens. I showing the pricing, of course, here. And yeah, it's something everyone can see. It's platform OpenAI doc pricing. And they have also tokenizer where you can understand how many tokens your request or response will have. You can use GPT-4 or all modern models use that tokenizer because tokens not equals characters, of course. Tokens like three, like 75% more like took from characters. So about its main role for other languages, they could take more. Mm, So yeah, and it's where we did our calculations. We asked ChatGPT all our prices, all our input-output tokens, how much I pay. It provides us responses here and here. So now it makes sense. I just noticed that. So yeah, okay, probably yeah, it's time to say goodbye. It's very long stream, more than 2 hours, and not my best health today. So as always, wish you a great day, a great time, and things like wisdom, like love. It's very non-mathematical term for um, current AI models, but I believe we have one great creator Like different people call it differently. We can call it nature. At least it's everyone agrees that nature is around us, and it's created very complex and very beautiful formulas which allow creation of us humans and which allow creation of what we call AI and LLMs. And it's our genome is very nice formula. So yeah, uh, with all of that, I believe love also is represented by some very nice and very beautiful formula by nature. Um, and AI will probably not understand it for some time, hopefully, and it will respect what it couldn't understand, not like people. So let's hope for that. And yeah, of course, most important thing is your inner environment. So be calm, try to accept and be happy in the sport, even if events are not so nice, but it's just learning for us, and we could treat the same events completely differently based on our level of wisdom and love and acceptance. Let's try to, yeah, increase those levels so we can treat even not nice event more nicely. Okay, guys, uh, see you tomorrow or probably maybe today. Normally I do stream at 10 p.m. Pacific time, but I could slightly postpone them. Yeah, yeah. Always be happy in different situation. That's it. Okay. See you and have a great